You're listening to the right episode. If you wanted to hear things I wish I would have known, I've got my good buddy Carl White. This is Steve Kyle's Loan Officer Leadership Podcast, powered by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. And Carl did something really cool last week, had a group of just great producing loan officers together and started to ask, hey, what are some of the things that you wish you would have known? And Carl, a great list came out of that. So thought, let's turn on the record button. Let's talk about it. What are some of the things that we wish we would have known this last 12 months?
So actually, where this came from, I'm in the process of writing my next book,
Oh, yeah,
and and it's things I wish I would have known, right?
yeah.
And so I was on this meeting with these loan officers, producing loan officers, and I said, "Hey guys, help me with my chapters."
Yeah.
And and this saved me weeks of we got done in an hour, or a half an hour actually. What would have taken me weeks to put together. It's a great list. So and this might end up, we might cover it all day, and this might end up being a part one, part two. But let's go over these things I wish I'd have known, and let's kind of go dive deep into a couple of them.
I love it, man. Let's do it. You go for it.
All right. So number one, this came from I think I got names down beside each one of these. Sean Santero said, "I wish I would have known I don't have to know everything."
Mm, wow.
Boy,
Whew,
that's some wisdom there.
man, that's a good one.
Yeah. So I think what he's saying there is, before I go meet with referral partners, I need to know all the guidelines.
Mm,
Before I talk to the borrower, let me make sure I got that CRM set up.
hmm.
Before I start doing my marketing, let me make sure I know how to do Instagram or TikTok or whatever insert in thing.
Hmm.
Because gosh, I don't want somebody to ask me a question that I don't know the answer to. That can't happen. And
Yeah.
so I need to know everything. So
Everything.
I'm gonna spend
Yeah.
all my time learning all this stuff before I talk to my first customer.
Wow. Dude, that's hey, it goes back to that phrase we've been saying here the last couple of months or so. Clarity comes in action. And I think one of the greatest gifts you've given this industry, and I know for our friendship over the last several years, I've never seen somebody take so much action, regardless of whether it was perfect. I can remember growing up, it was like, hey, if you're going to do anything, you might as well do it right. And it's a good saying, but it creates a fear of perfection. And Carl, you're just, man, it's like, no, clarity comes once you take action and then fix it. Like we were talking earlier, it goes back to that. You have a say, well, not, I'll leave that one off, but you got to say, it's like, hey, ship crap. And it's not that we ship bad things, it's that you ship it and then you fix it. And you say this all the time. The purpose of version 1 is to get to version 2. The purpose of version 2 is to get to version 3. But if you stand still, it's like trying to move a car from first to second gear, but that car's not even moving. Action first, clarity will come. Man, that's a good one.
Yeah, because you know what I have found? I read this somewhere and I thought that can't be, but I have, over the years, I've proven it,
Yeah.
much to my surprise, is that whatever you're doing, you're typically going to have somewhere between 8 and 12 questions. So the number everybody uses is 10.
Yeah.
Like typically in your work, you're going to have 10 questions that gets asked to you over and over and over and over and over. And occasionally you'll hear something new, but Steve, you and I, when we're talking to loan officers or real estate agents or borrowers across the nation,
Yeah.
that it's the same basic. Each group has its own
Mhm.
set of 10 questions, give or take. And boy, that's about right. It's about
Wow.
10. It's
Hey, I've
about
never
10.
thought of it like that though, but you're 100% right. It's not
Yeah.
like 50. Like even for the Freedom Club, we have 9 freedom scripts that'll literally transform your entire business start to finish. Why? Because there's about 10 things, that's a
Yeah, it's
great
not 53
perspective.
scripts. It's
Right.
9, right? Yeah. And so, and the best way to learn what 9 questions are going to be is just start talking to people. And when they ask you a question, now you know the answer. Now you know that question, and you'll get the answer from that. Like if I was brand new, I'd say, "Hey, Steve, somebody said this. What would you say?"
Yeah, I've
Well,
already
I'd
got to
say
know
that.
the lender. I'm working with a lender. Well, there's a response for that. Or
Yeah.
hey,
So give me the
what's your
response, and you
interest
give
rate?
me the response, and now I know it, and now I can
Yeah.
use that next time. And I've only got another 9 to go. right?
That's it.
But
That's
I
it.
don't know what questions are going to be asked until I
Mm,
actually get out there and start doing something. And when
mm.
you ask me a question, I say, Steve, that's a great question. Can I get back with you this afternoon with the answer to that? Let
I
me run
love
it
that.
back. And I when I first got started, I said, hey, guidelines change.
Yeah.
Let me get the newest and most accurate information. And all that's true. Guidelines do change, and I am going to give you the most accurate and updated answer. Right? It might not have changed the last 5 years, but hell, I didn't know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So,
Hey,
and
and
then
Carl, let
my
me just say this. It happens all the time. Yesterday, I was on the phone with somebody and they asked me 3 or 4 questions. I said, and that's the greatest response. I love it. That's a great question because what you're doing is validating it. And it's, hey, let's get the right answer for you. And better yet, if you got a team member on your team, hey, I'm going to have so and so call you to help clarify that for you.
yeah,
And what a great, it takes away all the fear of you got to know it. Yeah, you've been in the business a long time. I've been in the business a long time. We're still asked questions all the time. We don't know. You
oh, for
just, hey,
sure.
that's a great question.
Yeah, because we get the same 10 questions over and over and over, but every now and then we
You
get
get a
the
one off. Yeah.
yeah, we get a one off that's the 67th question, right?
Yes.
I, I'd say literally a day doesn't go by that somebody doesn't ask me some question
Yeah.
that I don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
But then I call you, or I call Diane, or I call Julie, or I call
Somebody's
Christian.
got an answer and it
Somebody,
doesn't have to be me.
yeah, I don't, I might not know the answer, but I know who does. I
There
know
you
who
go.
does. I know
Mm.
who does.
Oh, that's a good one.
So,
Wow.
hey, by the way, just off topic, just for a second. So, so we're working on something. So you might not know this. I got a little surprise for you. When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
January 22nd.
By gosh, I think it'll be done by then. So as we're recording this, it's the beginning of January. So we are putting together a AI bot, and we've uploaded all the FHA,
Yeah.
all the VA,
Yeah.
all the Freddie Mac, all the Fannie Mae guidelines,
I love it.
and we're putting it in your branch
Come on.
so that when a loan officer has a question,
Oh, I love
they
it.
don't have to call the scenario. I mean, they can call the scenario desk, right? That's totally cool. So you can call the scenario, or you can go into this bot and ask it any question you want, and it can never make a mistake because it's got the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA guidelines
What?
built into the system.
Yeah.
And so if you have any questions about any guidelines, you just
Oh, I
type
love
it
it.
in, ask a question, and it spits out the answer. Isn't that pretty impressive?
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
what are you going to name it? I know you like names. What are you calling it?
well, I got a couple names, but I think what we're going to call it, we're thinking about calling it Stumpy.
That's what,
So
yeah.
we want to stump Stumpy.
Stumpy. There you
Yeah. So you
go.
got a question, stump Stumpy.
My
And
man.
so I think we're going to call it Stumpy. So anyway,
What a
we can talk
cool.
about the 60. So
Yeah.
so so just talk about all the different questions you're going to ask. So I wish I'd have known. I don't need to know everything.
That's a
That's
powerful
just
one. Man,
great
that's so
wisdom.
good. Yeah.
You know, that's that's power wisdom. That's
Mm-hmm.
taking action wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can spend all our time researching and make no money,
Yeah.
or we can spend time out there prospecting and learn as we go.
And it's a
You know
little
that
messy and being okay with it being messy. Hey, and I'm reminded of what you've taught this industry for years. Offers minus no's equal money. And the
Well, not
only
so
way,
fast. Not so fast. We're going to get to that here in just a second.
okay.
So,
Well,
so,
but it just goes back to selling, not prepping, selling, and then in selling, get better as you're selling. You just
so
keep tweaking.
let me tell you a quick story. So, so I have a private pilot's license, right?
Yeah.
I fly, and the first month
Yeah.
I was in classroom the whole time, right? And I'm learning how to fly a plane in the classroom. I learned more the first 10 minutes of actually in the cockpit flying
Mm,
than the 30 days I spent reading a book
mm-hmm.
and
Isn't that
watching
funny?
videos. I
Yeah.
learned more about the feedback of the yoke and it's something like I got in there and started flying, went, oh, now I get the rudder. Now I understand why that's back there. And now I get, and so the best way to learn how to fly a plane is
Put
just
your
get in
hands
there
on
and
the
start,
steering wheel. That's
put your
it.
hands on the steering wheel and just
Yeah.
start the engine and get out there. The good news is when we're doing this, we're not at 20,000 or 10,000 feet or whatever, and you're not going to crash into a tree or a field, right? So we say, hey, I crashed and burned. There's no actual crash and there's no actual burn, right? It's
Yeah,
just like, oh, well. So, so Sean Santero, that's a great one, man. I
that
wish I
was.
wouldn't have known everything. So what's the moral of the story of that one, Steve?
Take action.
Yeah, just go do it.
Just go do it. Do it
Put your
messy.
big
Do
boy,
it
your
okay.
big girl
And
pants
hey,
on.
and don't take yourself too serious because you're going to have bad conversations and things you wish you would have done different. That's where it's, hey, I'm just getting better every single day. Can I get 1% better? Have fun, take action. You'll see massive success. That's a great point.
Yeah.
What's number two?
Yeah. 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 Because you know what? We might remember that bad conversation for a while,
Yeah.
but the other person,
They're on to the next. They didn't even know it was a bad conversation.
they didn't know it was bad.
Yeah. Hey,
Whatever.
it's kind of like when you're calling past clients and you're like, but I hadn't called them in 4 years. They didn't know you were supposed to be calling them. They're
Yeah.
good. Just call
They're
them.
good. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
call. All right.
There you go.
So number two, this came from Rory Gazaway.
Okay.
Right? So Rory said, I'm not, I wish I would have known I'm not that important.
Mm.
Now,
Okay. Unpack this one.
let me
Yeah.
put this in context though.
Yeah.
So Rory knows that he's important as a person. He's important as a loan officer. He's important in his business. I don't know, important husband, whatever, boyfriend, uh, father, whatever, friend. So it's not saying, hey, I'm a loser. That's not what he's saying here.
Yes.
What he's saying here is there's other people in my office that can do a lot of the work. Let them do it.
Mm.
Let them do it.
Mm.
I don't have to be turning every screw when building the car. Maybe I can just design the car
Yeah.
and I have people helping me. I have a processor maybe chasing the conditions. I'm just throwing that out there. A processor, somebody else can help me with some of the
Mhm.
stuff that the world doesn't. My success isn't dictated by every action has to be done by me.
That's right.
That's so I really like that one. I'm not that
That
important.
man, that's a good one. Well, it goes back to Carl. Man, I can take a mean loan application. Awesome. I bet there's somebody in your office that can do
Yeah.
it better than you can.
Yeah. Good for you. Yeah.
That's a great one. Hey, and just to circle back around, it's not the worthy, it's the
Yeah.
empowering other people who are likely better at that skill than you are. You're great at relationships. You're
Or you know what? Maybe you do that very special, right? Maybe
yeah,
you do, but if you have somebody else doing that, and then you go do more of what calls that person to call back in the first place,
that's it.
that's where the money's made.
That's it. That's in the selling. You go sell and have other people fulfill.
That always reminds me um, on being on a best-selling list. We talk about writing books. Being on
Yeah.
the Amazon bestseller. Always keep in mind. Always remember, it's not the best written book.
Mm.
It's the best selling book.
Mm. That's a good perspective
It
because there
is.
are
And so
books that sell more and books that are better written that don't sell as many.
that goes back to
Wow, that's a good
by a
perspective.
raise of hands here, as you're virtually listening to this while you're riding in your car or at the grocery store, or walking your dog, or sitting at your desk. Um, Raise your hand if you think you could make a better hamburger than McDonald's,
Mm,
right? Because
mm.
let's face it, McDonald's sells a lot of hamburgers. Hey,
It's not the best. Yeah.
it's not the best, right? The tomatoes a little bit floppy, the lettuce is a little bit old, the hamburger but or patty itself a little bit on the thin side. It doesn't really have. I mean, they put the little sauce, which is nothing more than I think Thousand Island dressing. They put a little sauce on there and whatnot, but it's just okay. So everybody here could make a better burger, but they
Hmm.
have the best selling burger,
Hmm.
the best selling burger.
Wow. That's
So,
a good lesson.
which by the way, did you know
Yeah.
that Chick-fil-A, the average store at Chick-fil-A revenues a little more than double the
Wow. A
average
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah. Wow.
Wait, but there's more. McDonald's is open 7 days a week,
Yeah.
never closes, right? Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday.
Yep.
They still double revenue. By the way, guess what the number one day is for McDonald's?
I don't know.
Sunday.
Because everybody from Chick-fil-A is going to
I,
McDonald's.
I, I guess. And Chick-fil-A still kicks their butt. Isn't that
Wow.
interesting?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Interesting. Anyway, all right. So I'm not that important. So Rory Gazaway. So great one. The next one. Boy, this is a good one too. Edwin Oquendo, I think it is. Edwin says, I wish I'd have known that not everyone is going to do business with me.
Wow, that's profound.
Isn't that profound? I wish I'd have known that I don't have to get them all, that it's percentages,
Yeah.
and that I don't have to
Mhm.
go walk 20 miles to try to change that one no into a yes.
Mhm.
I don't have to answer the phone. I can be like Chick-fil-A and take
Yeah.
Sundays off.
Yeah. That's right.
And you know what? They might go to McDonald's that day, but I'll still kick their butt because I'm
You're making
rested.
Mhm.
And in our belief system, we're blessed
Yeah.
when we honor our Maker on that day, whatever day that is for you, Saturday, Sunday, whatever day that is. That's a whole
Mm.
other story. But yeah, not everybody's going to do business with us. So we have found, as a general rule, like on referral partners, about 87% of the referral partners that we meet with
Yeah.
never send us a deal.
That's it.
87%, right? 87%. 87%. That means that 80, yeah, 87%. Wait, do I have that number right? 7. 84%.
Yeah, it's 16%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
84% never send us a business.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll edit that out. So 84% of the referral partners that we call on or that we meet with, not just call on, that we actually met with,
Yeah. Mhm.
84% never send us a referral. Not one. We don't close a deal. They don't send us a referral, nothing. But 16% do.
Yes. And that's
And we've made
16%. Yeah.
tens of millions of dollars
Yeah.
on that 16%, right? So knowing that not everybody's going to say yes is liberating. In fact, it's 16% says yes. And even that small number, percentage wise, equates to big numbers because we know, let's say your average yes is sending you a referral per month, right? A deal
Yeah.
per month. And let's say you make, I don't know, $3,000 per closing as a rule of thumb. That means that each yes is somewhere around $36,000.
Mhm.
Heck, you get 3 of those, you're like at 100 grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we don't need that many. That's
Yeah.
what's so amazing about all this stuff is you don't need that. Hell, we couldn't do business with everybody.
Yeah.
You know, frankly, neither could McDonald's. If everybody was to go into McDonald's today, they, they couldn't.
Couldn't do it.
They can't
Yeah.
make that many fries. Not
Yeah.
everybody, right? So yeah, not everybody's going to do business with us, and that's okay. But I know as long as I stay consistent, I'll get that 16%. And I get 16 refer. I meet with 100 agents, and 16 of them are send me a referral per month. That's 16 deals.
Yeah.
16 times 3,000 is a lot of money.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
big deal.
So
Well,
isn't that,
hey,
isn't that,
and it
isn't
lets
that,
you,
isn't that smart?
it's well, it lets you off the hook. I remember on the Breakfast Club this week, somebody said something. Hey, I've been chasing this one well. He keeps saying no, and it was like for almost a year. And my first thought was what you just said right here is I don't have to get them all. Hey, why don't you just go get more? Because the more you talk to, the more you follow the process, the more you follow up with, you'll get to your 16% faster. And here's the other part to that too, Carl. I remember about 5 or 6 years ago, what really helped in the ability to be fearless in prospecting is when you realize the cool thing about that 16% is it's people that you know, like, and trust.
Mhm.
That's really what you're looking for. I mean, we'd call it your tribe. You're looking for the people that are a natural flow. You call it keys on a keyboard. You
Yeah.
know, it's like sometimes you can play two notes on a keyboard and it sounds sour. You play two chords on a keyboard and it's like the 1 4 5 and it's melodic and beautiful and you're thinking about, okay, I don't have to have them all, just my 16%, and that is a freeing thought because you can go get more.
Yeah. When I hear somebody saying, "Hey, I've got this one agent that this, or I got this one that's that," my first thought is, "How's the other 29?"
That's it. Yeah.
Well, I don't have 29.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's so the problem isn't that one. The
No, let's
problem
go
is you
get
don't have another.
more.
Yeah, the problem is you don't have another 20, which leads to
Hey, hold on, hold that one, and we'll do it for next week's episode. So,
let's do one more. Well,
okay, let's do one
let's do
more.
one
Here we
more.
go. All right, let's do it.
All right, so one more. So this came from Deanna Bryant, super nice lady, right? So I love Deanna. She said, "I wish I'd have known to get more leads so I can be more selective."
Mm, that's powerful.
That's empowering.
Yeah, because you don't. Hey, I don't like working weekends, and I don't want to work with the ones who are always sending them to builders. But I feel trapped because it's all I got.
That's right. So
That's like a prison.
I have to suck up to this one because it's the only one I got. Right.
Wow.
And so what Deanna, and that's why I wanted to do it this episode. It falls right into I don't have to work with everybody. And if
Yeah.
I have more leads coming in, I can be a little bit more selective. So
Mm.
if somebody's coming in and they come into my office and they're rude and obnoxious,
Oh yeah.
hey, that's not going to work here.
Yeah.
But if that's the only deal I got, I'm more tempted to go, "Oh, I got to put up with him because it's the only one I got."
Yeah.
But if you got a line, it's like the soup Nazi. This is over dramatization, but like in Seinfeld and the soup Nazi, everybody was, he was rude and obnoxious to these people because there's a line running out this door. He's very selective, right? He's very selective. That was probably a bad example, and we'll probably edit all that
The
out.
soup Nazi.
Yeah, but yeah, get more leads, and you can be more selective on who you work with.
Hey, and Carl, you know what it goes back to? There's top producers that work nights, and there's top producers that don't. And there's top producers that work weekends, and there's top producers that don't. And there's top producers that do open houses, and there's those that don't. And I think as you're building and uniquely designing your business of significance, what's really cool is the more you get, the more you can say, "Oh, I don't like that. I don't really like working open houses on Sunday." And then you can be selective with agents who don't require you to do that.
Yeah,
And it's really about the more you get, the more you're designing it exactly. We call it a livable calendar. Like I
yeah,
want to work with people that are in my flow, that there's like we got a rhythm. Typically, they're younger families with kids. They understand the push and the pull. And doesn't mean you don't have people outside of it, but there's a natural flow of who's doing business with you. And you get to choose that when you got more. At first, it's like go get everything and then being more selective. So that's so good.
yeah. I like that. So number one, I wish I know I don't have to know everything. Number two, I'm not that important. In other words, it's people in my business can help me. Number three, not everybody's going to do business with me.
Yep.
Number four, um, get more leads so I can be more selective. So great list of four things there.
Man, that was great. Great, great, great. All right, guys. Hey, well, if you're listening today and you want to join forces or you want to learn more about how we can help you through the mortgage marketing animals, go to freedomplanningcall.com. We'd love to be a part of your success and journey this year. We're confident we can help you get even further, faster, not alone, with less headaches, and not by yourself. So just join us. We'd love to do a strategy call with you at freedomplanningcall.com. Freedomplanningcall.com. Remember this, anything we're doing is worth doing badly. Just get started. See ya.